hand behind my back. They were beating me from nowhere. And if you shout, they're going to increase the punishment or the torment. And then this one they'll put my head on the floor, mash my head. This one will use machete, hitting my back, front and back. I was just there, going. They brought out machetes. One of them used machete, while the other one was behind him to what's it called?
Butcher
this guy behind him. They were just using the machete on him, and so this man was shouting like a baby. My name is Christian Joe. I'm an artist. I draw, I paint, I do portrait pictures. I'm also a fitness person, a fitness coach, and I'm an actor as well. So on a fateful day in May, after my birthday was May 6 last year, 2023. After my birthday, I traveled down to Lagos for a job from Imo State. So after my job in Lagos State, I had to come back to Owerri impromptu for a friend of mine's wedding. So I had to leave Lagos the next day. This is around, I think, May 13th. So the next day, I came out to use the bus early in the morning. Went out to Godiswood Park, and around 6 o'clock, the Godiswood buses had already left already. So I then went to check on GU, the same thing. So then I was left with other random parks to choose from. So I went to a park. I've forgotten the name of that park. I went to, and then I bought the vehicle. It was a Sienna, and it was about 6 of us in the Sienna. Yeah, 6 of us in the Sienna. So the vehicle left Lagos from I think past 9 o'clock in the morning. The journey was okay. It was very fine. We got to a place called Ordeal. Then immediately after Ordeal, we left Ordeal. Few minutes after Ordeal, while on the road, these people came out in the middle of the road with their mask on, and it was a Fulani headsmen. They came out with their mask on. Then we didn't know who they are. They brought out their gun and started shooting in front of us. I was sitting in the front seat, the passenger seat with the driver. I immediately bent down my head. I bent down my head to avoid any bullet from hitting me. The driver was trying to reverse. I was shouting, Jesus, God, please save us, please save us. I was telling the driver to march so that he can speed forward, but the driver was reversing. So these people were shooting at us, telling us to stop, while our vehicle was reversing. Then they started shooting at our tires. I was in the front seat. I just bent my head like this. They told us to stop. They started shooting at our tires, and then that was how I found out that the tires of our vehicle was already punctured already. While reversing back, we hit a truck that was behind us, and that's how we all came to a halt. So they caught up with us. We all kidnapped, aside a woman in the vehicle that was left behind. She had her small, she had kids, like three kids with her, small children. They left her and the driver, but they kidnapped the truck driver that was behind us. The driver of the truck behind us, he was also kidnapped as well. They told us to form a straight line. About 2 of the Fulani was in front of us, and 3 of them was behind us. To go into the forest, inside this bush. That was how we were marching into the forest. If you look at them, they're going to use their machetes to hit your head. What we're told not to look at them at all, not to look at their faces, even though they were putting on a mask. And then we were trekking inside the forest. This was about as much as I can recall, because I was pressing my phone before the kidnap. before this came to the road. This was about like past 4 p.m. in the evening. The day is still bright as at that time. So we went into the forest. We were still trekking in the forest. All manner of bush, just going inside. We kept trekking till it was almost that time. So even if we were told to leave, there's no way we could trace our way back. We were told to stop somewhere, to sit on the floor, and they started interviewing us one after the other. They were asking us our names, where we come from, where we are heading to, what we do, and do we know what we are in. They're interacting with themselves in Fulani language, but they were speaking to us in Pidgin.
Okay.
Then they were asking me, what do I do, whatever, what do I think we are in? And I was like, I don't know, we don't know. Then this was them interviewing us one after the other. And so then they told us that this is a kidnap. Say like this, so we're kidnapped within inside like this. So if we know what's good for us now, when we reach our final destination, or whatever the Algato tells us to do. So they were asking us, what can we do? Left for me, I didn't have enough money in my account. Then what was my account was there about 100 to 200,000 thereabout. And I was like, I could give them whatever is in my account. I could even add maybe 100 or 200 on top by asking people for help. Then they told me that they started laughing. They're like, if like say then I don't know what's in I enter. So then that was when I knew that we're in trouble. They interviewed each and every one of us, and then they got to the truck driver. They interviewed the truck driver. The truck driver was already feeling reluctant, like even if they kidnapped him and asked him for ransom, there is no one that is going to come to his aid. There is no one that is going to come and help him. Like, he has no one. There's no one that is even this work he's doing that is just managing and whatever. They're like, does he think that they are playing? Then they told him that he should stand up, that he should go, that he should leave, he should go back. Then he started going back. All this while we're told not to really look, but I was still peeping one way or the other to see what was happening. And then while they told him to go, as he was going, they brought out machetes. One of them used machetes, while the other one was behind him to what's it called?
Butcher
this guy behind him. They were just using the machete on him, and so this man was shouting like a baby. After they butchered this guy, they killed him there in the forest. I don't know how they dumped his body. I think they threw him inside the water because I heard the splash of water and the rest of them. But I noticed when they used the machete to cut him. They told us to stand up and continue trekking. 2 was in front of us, 3 was still behind us with their gun, their machete, and they were having dagger in their waist. We kept on trekking. To cut a long story short, we got to a point. This is about like 4 a.m. thereabouts in the morning. 5 a.m. Around 4 5 a.m. in the morning, we got to a place and the rain was still falling. We were told to sit on the floor. Inside, this is still, even there is forest. It's still in the bush. And then we used there's this tree that has wide, big leaves that is so big. So we had to use the leaves to put on our heads. We sat down when we were sitting down till there about around 6, 7. We stayed there, and then they told us that we have reached where we are supposed to be. It was just about 5-minute trek from where we were sitting down in that place. We got to a place again. This place was like there were trees around there. It was like an open place or an open ground, but there were trees around. It's still in the forest, and we were told to sit down there on the floor. This was the next day, and this was the beginning of the whole beating that I encountered and I received. So they were telling us that now this is it. They're asking us for 70 million naira. They were asking each of us to raise up 70 million naira, and at that point I wasn't with my phone. There was no one I was able to call. I only had 1 or 2 numbers offhand in my head. to call. And so they were also interrogating the other people that were kidnapped as well, for them to start making calls and the rest, because I think all of them was with their phone aside, except me and one other guy. I called the numbers I could reach, but it was not available offhand, and so it was back and forth. Then, while they were all calling for their ransom money, I was being maltreated. Sometimes they would use machetes, their machete, the sharp part of their machetes, to slice up my skin, my back. The blood keeps flowing. I will see my blood. As I'm in pain, this one will be beating. This one will be hitting me. The other person will be hitting me. This one will be use machete and hit my head. Sometimes in the night we will not sleep. We don't sleep at night till maybe there about 2-3 a.m. in the morning. We're told to narrate stories. They will ask us what was our religion, that we should quote 1 or 2 places in the Bible, and then we should tell them what we know about Fulani people and where they came from. That was how we found out that they were Fulani herdsmen. We're saying that they were like Hausa people, but they said that we are wrong. They're different regions, and they are Fulani herdsmen. And so at a point they will tell us to narrate a story, to sing. They will tell the girls to sing some songs that will make them to relax. And they were doing all this while they were smoking and drinking. But I was the person that they were always beating every time at night. There was this night, I think the third night, I thought I would die that third night, because they took off my shirt and tied my hand behind my back. In night, everywhere was dark inside the forest, and then they were like, "I'm not ready. Like, I'm not ready to waste money, because I'm not making calls, and because look at that, how will I be here and I'm not with my phone?" I was begging them that they should please give me a phone for me to be able to at least go online, even if it's to go on Facebook and tell people that I'm kidnapped, to be able to start raising funds and to be able to get my contacts from there, because I wasn't with my phone. They were like, you think I'm joking, right? They saw what happened. I saw what happened to the truck driver. That's what's going to happen to me. Like, either we'll raise the money, or they're going to butcher us and sell our parts, because we are worthless to them at this point. Then I made up my mind that I'd rather die trying to escape than staying in their mercy for them to do whatever they want to do to me. And so I was praying to God, please give me the strength to escape. So on the third day, after the third night, and the next day, they had to go and look for phone, and they couldn't find the phone that could go online. And so they said that they give me that small phone, because this old Nokia Java phone, that I should find a way to go online. I had no option, and to find a way I could be able to go online. The browser was very, very, very complicated. I had to, because of I still try to recall Java settings, some internet settings I could be able to go in. There was a button for a small button phone. I had to go and start, trying to see I can configure the internet and all that. And then finally it worked out. And so I logged in Facebook. It was a very long process, and I was in their midst while I was doing this. I was told to come online, to enter and do what I said I would be able to do and raise the money, because today is going to be my final day in the forest. Either I'm able to raise the money or I die. So I came online, I came on the internet trying to log in my Facebook. It was taking me time. And when I logged in my Facebook, the first thing I did was to post on my page that I am kidnapped. That please, they should reach so number. I dropped the number that I was told to drop to give them for them to call on my page. And so after that, I was told to go and sit down where I usually sit down, and then they'll call the next person to interview and see how far he or she has gone. And so while I was going back to sit down where I was sitting down, I learned that one of the girls that was kidnapped with us, her people had already raised some money. I think they had bargained to raise some money, and they have accepted some amount of money which I'm not aware of. Then last time I heard was around 10 million naira. And so 3 of the Fulani had already gone out to front these people. 2 of them had already gone to front these people, while 3 of them was left with us there. And so I was told to go and sit down there. Mind you, all this while we are told not to look at them, not to look up or look at them in their faces. So when I went back to where I was sitting down. While I was praying, I was saying, God, please, because I was making a decision in my life that I knew one way or the other I might not make it. But I was praying to God to give me the strength that please. It might sound very weird or funny, but I was looking at the sun, I was looking at the tree branch, and I was saying, when this sun, because the sun was kind of moving in my eyes, the sun was kind of moving in my eyes, and I said, when the sun gets to where that leaf, to a leaf is where I'm at, I will take a bold step and I will escape. And then immediately got to that point, I stood up and started running. I started running inside the bush. Immediately I started running. This Fulani guys stood up and was chasing after me immediately. They were chasing after me. I was running. And then as I was running, it got to a point whereby I felt that one of them had already caught up with me because I heard a swing. I heard a swing of the machete behind my back. I found out that the machete had already got to me already, and so I'm sorry I forgot to mention that I did mixed martial arts. What's it called kickboxing, mixed martial arts then. So I had some 1 or 2 knowledge of self-defense, and so while I heard a swing of this machete, mind you, I had no strength, but I was just using my last strength to do this. I had to wedge my back behind, like to fall on the person, so I wouldn't build momentum. And I landed on him. The both of us fell down. His machete fell down at the same time. So while I was trying to reach out to the machete, he was already screaming for help. His other two was already close by already. And I wanted to grab on the machete. One of the Fulani herdsmen had already caught up with us, with me and this guy struggling. And so I was about holding the handle of the machete. He has already ready, and I held the sharp part of the machete, I think with my left hand, and so we were dragging. I tried to use my leg to pull his leg down so he would fall. As I was doing this, I was struggling with. I didn't know that the other two, making 3, had already caught up with me already, and then that was how the 3 of us were struggling. We were struggling. I don't know how. I don't know where. I know that at the point I wanted to use the machete on my head, and then I used my hand. That was how this place got a split cord.
Let me see.
It's a scar now. So I didn't know. I didn't know how. In all this struggle, what I found out that I saw that my left leg was already cut in 2 already, and the bone was already outside. It really was already outside already, and I just fell on the floor. My blood was just pumping all over the place. My hand was cut in pieces, like it was open. The bones, the skeletal bones of my fingers was already popping out already, out of my fingers. The bones inside was popping out. The hand was just open. So I was trying to stand up again. While I was trying to stand up, the leg would fold again, and then I'll fall down again. The knee bone of my leg was outside already. And so one of them brought out a dagger. Like he wanted to end me there, wanted to use dagger on me, but I see that they stopped him. They had to stop him. And recall that they still have people in the forest that they left to chase after me. And they told me that I shouldn't live here. Maybe they were thinking that I wouldn't be able to survive, or they would go back and find me still there. And then that's how they left me, ran back to where we were at. And so I was now left alone in that forest. When I found that I wasn't able to stand and hop with my foot inside the forest, I started using my back to crawl. I was using my back, I would crawl, I would use this leg to push my body forward, use this one hand to shift at the same time, while this hand was really lifeless and this leg was lifeless. I would do this for about 5 seconds, and I would rest for like 10-15 seconds, and I'll do it again for like 5 seconds, I'll rest for like some seconds. And then I was just going nowhere. I didn't know where I was going to, but I was just trying to read that particular scene. And I was looking further away, and I was seeing like a track road farther from me, somewhere. But a track road, but I don't think nothing like that passes through that road. I was trying to see if I can be able to draw or like find my way to that place. To cut long story short, I eventually got there. I was now in the middle of a road. It's like a farmer's road. The cars doesn't, no cars, no bike, nothing. It's just in the middle of the forest. It's like a farmer's road. So I was just laying down there and praying to God. I was so thirsty. So then, all of a sudden, it was already nighttime already. I was hearing bird chirping noise, different type of sounds in the forest. All this, different kind of insects all over my body. And then I heard a truck noise. A truck was coming towards me, and then I said, God, please, is this your help? Is this your help? I then used my last strength to try and see if I can go to sit down. Then I was dying already. And then I was shouting, help, help. Then the truck driver came down. It was a big truck, but there were hunters. These hunters came down and they were telling me that I should identify myself. Who am I? They didn't come close to me. They were like 12 feet from where I was. They were like, who am I? Who I be? Where I come from? I was like, I was forcing myself to talk. I'm kidnapped. I was kidnapped. Please, I need help. So then they were like, I should stand up. I can't stand up. I am dying. Then one of the children, the hunters, instructed these boys to come close to me, and then they came close to me and they found out that I was already massacred already. I said, oh, okay, this one are one of the people when they been kidnapped. Oh. I learned that the truck driver already heard the news that we were kidnapped in the forest by those people that ran away. The other people that ran away while I escaped. So they had to do a bush raid, and they were looking for this Fulani headsmen, and also the people who were kidnapped, and that's how they found me. I don't know about those people, the angels that got sent to come and save my life, and that's how they took me from where I was laying down inside the truck. I was dying there. I'm not going to talk about the pain and the near-death experience I was passing through, but they go back and forth. But I was rushed to a nearby hospital. Even then, they wanted to go to a police station, a police station that was close by force. So one of them said, no, take him to the hospital. That those police people refused to follow them to do this bush raiding. And if they go to the police station, that it's going to take time, that they should save this man's life first, take him to the hospital first, let him be alive first. And so that was how they took me to a nearby hospital, and then immediately they started the first operation by tearing up my body and started to, injections, started stitching me, doing what they could do. Then after 5 days, I was transferred to an orthopedic hospital in Owerri. So that was how one of the boys that was kidnapped was with me in the hospital. He came around in the hospital when he found out that they found me. He was with me in the hospital till the next day that my siblings came around. So yeah, the other ones I don't know where they are. Yeah, I don't know their whereabouts, but they are all rescued according to what I learned. They all escaped. By God's grace, it's almost a year. May 14th is going to make it 1 year of the kidnap, and now I can be able to work. I was in hospital for about 7 months. Then I started receiving care. After the hospital, receiving care for like 2-3 months, and I started using crutches for my 7th month. I started using crutches, and now I am able to walk. But now I can't be able to bend my knee or run at the moment. I think, according to the doctors, I need to undergo another procedure to enable me bend my left knee and to be able to run, to come back fully to my activities. So everything is the Lord's doing. It's God.